Gotta honor the dead here. Fat influencers are dying.
Obesity is the leading cause of death in the USA, but that didn't seem to worry these influencers too much, as they made money eating vast quantities of junk food, opened salons to cater to morbidly obese clients, and even dedicated their lives to proving that you can be healthy at every size. Unfortunately though,
Bullfrog physiognomy is crazy work.
all of these influencers met the same fate, and we will start with the youngest influencer on our list, who made thousands creating his mukbang content until it cost him the ultimate price. Effecan Cultur was a body positive mukbanger who made his living by eating vast quantities of food online. Despite his aged appearance, obviously due to his massive weight,
I'm detached from this in that we're watching a video on social media about fat people that ate themselves to death. That's like a mortal sin, gluttony at its core. It just seems a bit strange that this actually happened. These influencers are not alive.
he was just 24 years old at the time of these images. His TikTok page had amassed over 188,000 followers, with his content
Just disassociate, that's what I do. It's like a little guy is piloting my skin mech.
consisting of simply recording himself eating meals. Effecan was from Turkey, which has a bit of a reputation for being one of the most obese countries in the world, as 61% of the population are overweight, with 32% of those being obese. A big factor
It's gotta be the seed oils.
of this is the food that is traditional in Turkey, with the biggest culprit being the traditional doner kebab, which is meat stacked on top of each other and sliced in rotisserie style. These kebabs are just covered in oil, which stacks up the calories.
What kind of oil? In reality, it's just calories in, calories out. And the fact that this is a metabolic equation. If you don't move, if you don't exercise, if you don't exert yourself and build muscle, you're going to accumulate body mass.
And makes it incredibly easy to gain weight, which is something that Effecan had no trouble doing. He didn't seem to mind gaining so much weight though, as it was allowing him to live a lifestyle of eating out at high-end restaurants and earning a living without needing a traditional job. This wouldn't last forever though, as his awful eating habit would soon catch up with him, with disastrous consequences. In December 2024, he was hospitalized due to his weight and the related issues that followed along.
You know what's insane? If I ever started getting huge, I have a feeling immediate people in my life would start telling me. We would address the elephant in the room.
But was sent home and was allowed to continue.
In fact, I don't even think I would have a career anymore online. I would have to full pivot to mukbang. Dude, the second I start getting ugly and fat, it's over for me. I'm cooked.
Getting his healthcare there. On the 31st of January,
Unless I just tell everyone that I'm doing powerlifting. Then you kind of get a pass. So long as I start benching 600 pounds. The seed oils, Philion! It makes you fat and autistic, Philion! Thank you, RFK.
Effecan uploaded a video of himself getting some sort of treatment
Yeah, every day I just get fucking bullied by my own chat.
in physio. Caption reading, continuing treatment at full throttle. But as it turns out, this treatment he was receiving
Yes, that's exactly it. I would be the elephant.
wouldn't help too much. In his last TikToks, he was shown just lying in bed, as his massive size meant he wasn't able to get up. So
That's just, I mean, he's jiggling the goiter.
suffering breathing problems and mobility issues. And just 3 months on from his initial hospitalization
Dude, I lost 20 pounds just from shaving my beard.
on the 7th of March, Effecan lost his life due to presumed heart
It does, though. Too much omega-6 makes you sick. That's a fact. Listen, you know what I've realized this past weekend, specifically? Since I'm terminally online, and I'm a cyber chud, I have access to information that the normies don't have. I'm in the trenches of slop day in, day out. I have to bite my tongue around slugs. Otherwise, I just scare the hoes. You ever feel that way?
Not failure. Now, although Effecan didn't speak too much in his videos, the next influencer to lose their life was massively outspoken about her views on fat acceptance, even running a podcast to talk about health at every size. Dr. Kat Pause was an American academic and
What do you mean, doctor? How do you have the wherewithal, the know-how, and the competency to achieve the esteemed doctor title, but you can't even figure out your own weight? That's a black pill.
Self-proclaimed fat activist, having degrees in philosophy and sociology, with her dissertation exploring the stigma society holds against fat people. While yes, there's no denying that society does have a stigma against people who are obese, Kat took her beliefs a step.
Do you think this stems from a biological resource gathering perspective? Hear me out, right? If we're all chilling in the lean-to, the longhouse, and somebody's eating up all the food and hogging all the resources, I have a feeling all the tribesmen and women would come up with a stigma against the fat people.
Further, and argued that you can be healthy at every size, including morbidly
You're literally eating all of our food. Nobody was fat until the 1700s.
obese, being a big name in the health at every size movement. Kat found ways to monetize her fatness too, which is her own words, not mine, with one of them being launching the Friends of Marilyn podcast. And she actually ended up traveling the world, interviewing other obese people for her show. The key point of her studies
You put them on a piece of ice and push them out to sea?
and her shows was
Sorry. Post-nasal drip, fucking random shit in my throat. Be gone, demon.
fat people aren't being given the same rights as average weight people, claiming that people are rejected housing and even fired from their jobs for being too large. She actually wrote a study titled "I Don't Care About Health," where she claims that she's always had a sneaking suspicion that despite being morbidly obese, there was actually nothing wrong with her body health-wise. In the same document, she wanted to
I had to put tablespoons of sugar in my water just to keep going when I was training for biking. I'd smash 2 packets of Oreos while biking and I was still struggling not to lose weight. Yeah, see, this is the thing. If you look at marathon runners, cyclists, fighters, any athlete ever, this is the actual red pill that a lot of people are not ready for. Food, quite literally, is fuel. You see some of the most talented people in the world smashing McDonald's before their big game. Why? Because it's literally just calories. That's all it really boils down to. Okay? None of the top performing people in the world are following Brian Johnson hyper-optimal routines. They're not. Some are. But for others, it's complete cope. John Jones would go on coke-fueled benders before his world title fights.
convince people that being fat doesn't actually make you unhealthy, but provides zero supporting evidence for this. However, we would soon have some very strong evidence that went against this claim. Like I said in the introduction, obesity is the biggest
Cyclist drinking soda during Tour de France to refuel mid-race. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather snuck out of yoga class to just slam a cheeseburger.
cause of death in the USA. The numbers on it are actually
The difference is these people are literal furnaces with their metabolism because they've built up such impressive muscle mass, athletic performance, and the food just goes right through them. But the main problem is when you're fat and a glutton, all of this manifests and snowballs into just fat accumulation because you're insulin resistant. Your body has no idea what to do with the excess calories other than to store it with fat. You're not moving. You're just in a perpetual surplus.
staggering too, with almost 3/4 of the American population being obese. Over
It's like throwing garbage in a furnace versus a dank cellar. That's right.
17 million adults are classed as it. Honestly, these numbers should be a wake-up call to change your habits. And I do have a completely free newsletter that I send out every
I'm being sold to. I'm sitting through a VSL. Oh my god, more emails. That's what I want.
Friday, sharing healthy recipes which are high in protein and low in calories. Now, I know from personal
You still need to put the right kind of fuel in the tank? You would think so. I'd say it's probably 80-20, but I think a lot of professional athletes' diets would one-shot everyone's thought about eating clean and what that entails. Like Michael Phelps was not eating grilled chicken every meal. He wasn't eating grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef with the world's finest extra virgin olive oil.
Experience how difficult it can be to change your eating habits. And I made this with my good friend Johnny with the goal of teaching as many people as we can to cook nutritious meals. The link is in the description to sign up, or just visit Fat Loss Kitchen.
Michael Phelps would rip a bong, eat fucking Papa John's and 46 pancakes, and then get 13 gold medals.
And again, this is completely free. Now, Cat Pause unfortunately did not change her.
Doesn't one fighter eat only pasta and pizza and he's ripped? Yeah, that's Musa Mechi, the jiu-jitsu athlete. Makes a pizza every night. Dude, I eat an insane amount of pizza. Mainly because I don't want to cook, and it's just the fastest, most readily available thing that satiates me. Is it optimal? Probably not. But hey, it works right now.
Eating habits, and carried on her crusade against society for their abuse and discrimination.
And I've been the same weight for the past 3 months. 205. I wake up in the morning dehydrated. I'm like 202. I take a big shit, or I bloat up a little bit. Boom, 206, 207. Right back down to 205. Every single time.
Nation of fat people. This was all up until 2022, when at the age of just 42 years old and living in New Zealand, she passed away in her sleep.
How did that kefir smoothie shake out for you last week? It actually, kefir is fine on my gut. I just mixed and matched random shit. It's because the fermentation process breaks down the lactose. American pizza's trash. It's gonna ruin you one day, bro. This guy thinks I'm eating American. Let me show you the pizzas I'm eating, bro. Okay? God. More of this slanderous activity. I'm making my own pizza in the backyard with family and friends. Look at that Neapolitan style, beautiful pie. Yeah. Okay? Please. Do you think I'm eating seed oil, fake cheese, smells like feet, slop? God!
She was working as a fat studies academic at a university in New Zealand at the time, and no cause of death was officially given. This would be the same as the next influencer to tragically lose their life. However, his content was less academic and more about food. Waffler 69, or Taylor Lejeune, was a 33-year-old food TikToker who posted videos of him eating huge and strange meals, accompanied by his excitable personality.
See, this is a skill issue because Matt Stoney and Beard Meats Food look healthy and fit. It seems like you could just face tank food if you work out. Think about that. I'm so serious.
Considering he amassed over 1.9 million followers and each of his videos gained millions of views, it's safe to say he was making more than enough money to support his eating habit, and he needed it. If you take a scroll down his TikTok page, you can see that he must have been spending...
What's the best pizza oven to buy for the backyard, Phil? Psh, I'm gonna put you guys on. The Unicoda. I got the 12-inch. You could get the 16-inch. Personal preference. 12 is easier to work with. 16 is going to make a bigger pie, but more dough, more technique. Up to you.
Hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on huge meals and strange food items.
They were trying cookie liquor. I've got 3 McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. Which one's the best?
Why does everyone have perpetual soy face, bro?
I've got Lay's Waves Funyun onion flavored rings. I've got 3 new pickled snacks. Let's see what they are. Loaded baked potato pickles, spicy garlic, and hot peppers. I got Serverboy pizza from the new season of Stranger Things. Let's see, what is this frozen pizza like?
Although his meals aren't as extreme as Effecan's, and he didn't share his fat positivity views like Kat did, that doesn't mean his health was any better. And you can see that Taylor was massively overweight, and his diet seemed to be the main reason for that. In a video uploaded on the 3rd of February, he actually shared the screen with his brother and commented,
"The soy consumption makes you soy." It's all the soy oils in our foods. You see, I have the wherewithal to understand that that's like a joke, in theory. But I swear to God, there's something there. There's gotta be something there.
Loved him, even calling them an iconic duo. However, the next time we would see Taylor's brother would be under very different and heartbreaking circumstances.
Hey guys, if anyone's being shared this video from another, or if you just don't know, I'm related to Waffler 69.
Waffler 69.
Or my brother Taylor. He has passed away around 10 p.m. on January 11th, 2023, from a presumed heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital, and I want to say like an hour and a half later, he passed away.
The most shocking part is that Taylor's brother revealed that their father and grandfather died from heart failure, and Taylor died of a suspected heart attack. For the
Is this real? Am I being psyoped right now?
most part, Taylor was pretty uncontroversial and didn't make a big fuss about his weight or talk about it much, which is the exact opposite to Britney Sauer, whose entire personality was based around
Holy buckets, I'm fully torqued. I want to lift it up and... Never mind. I forgot. All these people are not here with us anymore.
her weight. Britney Sauer was another professional TikToker who was 28 years old and lived in Springfield, Tennessee. Her hobbies included mainly gaming, but her biggest hobby was creating videos on TikTok, eating and showing off her body and supposed weight loss journey. Her TikTok account was called Sick and Tired of Waiting, and she boasted a following of almost 500,000. But the main interesting part was her account description, which read regaining my mobility and life, BED recovery and type 2 diabetes. Now, although she did like to make jokes about being fat, it's the second part of her bio that we should focus on, as she said herself that she was in recovery for a binge eating addiction, and genuinely did seem like she was trying to make steps to change, even sharing her weight loss journey very openly.
Oh my god, I am 21.6 pounds down now.
Pretty sure the Bible says something about these activities. We don't need to truth nuke everyone.
I'm excited. That brings me to 433.6 down from 455.2. And I'm so excited.
I will say that the rate that she lost weight, however, was incredibly slow, as she lost those 20 pounds that she talked about over around 150 days. So it's clear that despite her efforts to eat in a calorie deficit and exercise, it objectively wasn't working. It seems like Britney herself knew this.
I feel like people say heart disease runs in their family, but it's also generations of smokers, drinkers, obesity, and lack of activity. And many times it is.
Too. As at the end of 2022, she posted this TikTok, seeming to finally open her eyes
Genetics is an excuse. Always has been.
as to just how serious her situation was becoming.
I ruined my life with food, binge eating, and lack of self-care. And I'm hoping that it's not too late for me this time. You know,
The majority of chronic illness is lifestyle driven. That's why we must listen to Liver King. Primals! The ancestral tenets.
been to the store in 2 years, maybe more now, I guess. I went to the post office once and that was hard. I went to urgent care and I thought my legs were gonna give out from under me because I had to stand there the entire time after walking in. You know, I kept just looking back at the chair and just praying that I could just make it another second.
At the start of the TikTok, Britney prays that it hasn't become too late to change, but unfortunately, that would be the case. On the 2nd of January 2023, just 6 days after the previous TikTok, Britney unfortunately passed away in her sleep, with many people pointing to a heart attack as
Sheesh, dude.
the cause of death at the age of just 28. While Britney was making an effort to change her life, the next influencer to lose her life was in the complete opposite frame of mind.
Holy buckets.
Society makes you hate yourself if you don't look a certain way. And I am damn determined to change that.
Jamie Lopez was a 37-year-old reality TV influencer who starred in the show Supersize Salon, which...
You know what's interesting? A lot of bodybuilders will have a similar fate in that they die increasingly young because they're putting so much stress on their heart because they're muscularly obese and their organs are going to shut down. And it's a sad fate. But a lot of the times, those people pontificate about the fats when in reality they're doing the same thing. It's self-destruction masked as self-improvement or acceptance.
As you can probably guess, featured sassy women who were all morbidly obese. Jamie actually owned the salon behind the show too, named Baby Doll Beauty, and despite being the owner, she was pretty much completely immobile, having to greet clients while sat in her chair.
It's our new location. Today is the opening. It's a few hours away. There's still things that need to be done. I'm really excited.
And this is something sad I want to bring up. Like, obviously, these are people. They're humans. They deserve dignity, respect. Maybe not for their lifestyle. However, would you hang around these people? The answer is probably not. Why? Well, because you can't really do anything with them. They have disabled themselves. They're not down for activities. They're perpetual victim maxers. I'm not even trying to be funny. They probably smell because they can't reach the cracks and crevices. So It's just a slow, lonely death.
About it, and it's gonna be an epic event.
Jamie also shared her reasons behind launching the salon too, and they're probably what you expect.
All of our chairs are fully equipped to hold up to 8.
Hang around them, you get sucked into the vortex around them. The gravitational pull will just, dude, you disappear like into a black hole.
100 pounds. You know, it's an experience. You know, we wanted to create an environment where big women
Ever watched The Whale? Of course. I'm somewhat of a cinephile. What an exquisite film.
can come and feel like we treat it like royalty instead of go through discrimination like we do when we go to like regular salons that
How do they wipe? Dude, they probably don't.
can't accommodate us. So, yeah.
Well, and you use the word discrimination. Let's talk about that feeling. You said you have experienced feeling very uncomfortable or feeling, is it ostracized because of your size at times?
Absolutely. I mean, regular salons that I go to before I open my
The reason why these people are ostracized and viewed as outcasts is because this lack of self-control is actually like a mental illness, and it should not be justified. Like, you need help. And the onus is not on regular people to do that. You need professionals, and you probably got to work through some demons to get back on track.
business. It was like to the point where I stopped going because I felt so uncomfortable, and you know, they couldn't, some of the salons had to turn me down because they didn't have a chair for me.
Right.
So I knew I wasn't the only big girl that went through this, so I wanted to create an environment where everybody can come and get pampered and go.
These women will still find a partner while I'm here straight yorking it to the hub. There's a lesson in there. Oh, bucko, you see, that's not a very attractive creature. Think of it, hunched over, getting psyoped, blowing your masculine seed to pixels. That's the work of the devil. The reality is, and this, it's not adjacent to inceldom. I think it's just a reality of this world. Men are turbo gooners, and some men have low self-esteem. Others view this as a fetish. And there are probably some guys telling these women that they're beautiful and to never change and to probably even get fatter.
Gorgeous and waxed and everything.
Outside of launching a plus-size salon, she actually launched a plus-size nightclub too, which was marketed towards the morbidly obese, seemingly as a way.
There's actually a negative correlation between BMI and IQ. The higher your BMI, the lower the IQ. Well, that's because your brain gets a sheath of fat and seed oils. So everything you do is under the context and umbrella of fatness and obesity.
To normalize it. The comments on this video announcing the nightclub were pretty disturbing too, with people actually not just supporting the idea of the nightclub, but promoting obesity itself, including those who fetishized it. I love plus size women. The bigger, the better.
See? We all know a guy who would hit that.
And obviously, these are the types of comments that Jamie was looking to attract, which unfortunately just further entrenches the idea that there's nothing wrong with their weight, because other people seem
They're beautiful, Phil, almost Rubenesque, that's right.
to like it. Unfortunately, as we all know, this is completely false, and in all honesty, dangerous. As we've seen with the majority of people in this video, almost all of them have died due to some sort of heart complication, such as heart failure or a heart attack. Obesity significantly increases your risk.
That just looks cartoonish. I know we're looking at a vector image, probably made by a Filipino editor for $3, but you just can't be taken as a serious person if you're that rotund.
Of a heart attack by around 28%, and for every 5-point increase in BMI, it raises your risk of heart failure by a massive percent. At her largest, Jamie Lopez was a staggering 840 pounds, and if she was the average height of around 5'4", that puts her BMI at 140.
Yo, she broke the Richter scale. I didn't even know that was possible.
Putting her at huge risk of heart failure, which is unfortunately exactly what happened. In December 2022, she was rushed to a Las Vegas hospital with heart complications, and at the
I didn't know triple-digit BMI was a thing. I thought it capped out at 100.
the age of just 37 years old, succumbed to her obesity. It's honestly terrifying to think that some of these
This is just going against nature. These people wouldn't exist in a hunter-gatherer situation.
influencers were proponents of the healthy at every size movement, which is objectively incorrect and just downright dangerous. And if you want to see more people who live there...
You guys are brutal. Fat people loud breathing pisses me off, not gonna lie. Room will be quiet aside from their out of shape gasps. Oh. That's when you know you're just you're just done.